earlier this week. I'm sure everybody knows by now, but in Nashville there was another school shooting. And it got me thinking. I don't like to rush into things, but when I talk about things, I like to make sure I got at least as much of the information as I possibly can before I start trying to pass judgments or whatever that may be. Obviously, it's pretty well known that this individual, I'll never say their name, was a trans person or whatever. Obviously mentally ill. And I'm not saying that because they're trans. I'm saying that because they shot up a school. And anybody that does that is not mentally fit. However, the left is using this once again to try and push a gun control narrative that would do absolutely nothing to stop these instances, because gun control does not work. Not like they claim. It works in one way, and that is to allow the government to have more power over the people that are actually law-abiding citizens. It takes the power away from the people. And it takes a lot of the power away from the people that actually need it. However, I think this definitely comes down to what I've been saying for many years now. I've been saying for a long time that we need to have security guards, armed security, at all of the schools, at all schools, or at the very least, allow teachers to carry that want to, or at least, or doesn't necessarily have to be teachers, but at least some trained personnel at the school. At least allow some of them to be allowed to carry on school grounds at the very minimum. I'm not saying just allow anybody to carry within the school, but I do think that they need at least a few people that are willing to go through some training. I do believe, especially when you're talking with, dealing with kids, with having kids around there, I have no problem saying that, okay, we'll allow you to carry, but I think you need to go through some training before you're allowed to carry in the school, because there's a lot of things that I do believe that you need to go through. I think everybody that carries should go through some form of training, at least some kind of training. I don't believe it should be a law for everywhere, because I believe that should be something that the individual should choose to do. I believe that you should do training, some sort of training. I do some, I try and, I'm not like go through big time classes, but I do a little bit of stuff, try and work on some, my mechanics and stuff then when I go out and shoot and whatnot. But I'd love to actually go through some of these classes. And that's something that I'm hoping to do here in the very near future, go through some of these, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I do believe we need to be either putting, armed security or some kind of security anyway, probably armed security, to try and stop these threats before. I give a lot of credit to the officers in Nashville that stopped this, but it took them some time to get there. And that's not their fault. I mean, it takes time to get there. Anything. I mean, no matter where it is, no matter what school it is, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. These officers stood up and went above and beyond their duty. They did exactly what they needed to do. And I give full credit, 100% back those guys. Those are the kind of people we need protecting ourselves. It's no secret. We protect our money with firearms. We protect, important people like the president and senators and politicians, or what they call important. Those people are protected with firearms. But yet, when you suggest, why don't we protect our children, our future? Why don't we protect them with firearms? Then people act like you're a crazy person. But yet we protect all this other stuff with firearms. It's something that's been needing to be done for a long time, and it's something that I hope maybe they can finally start working towards. I'm hoping maybe a few of these states will actually maybe a few of these states, at least conservative states, maybe they'll start opening up and allowing more people, at least having security. If they don't have security guards, at least allowing some teachers or staff, trained staff to carry while at the school. I wish that'd be something that would be allowed nationwide, but I do not see that happening, at least not right away. I hope it does come to that, because I think that's the only way you're actually going to stop these things. Every mass shooting in history, every mass shooting ever is stopped with a gun. Whether that is the suspect's own gun or a police officer shooting the individual or escorting the individual out at gunpoint. Every mass shooting ever, it stops with a gun, period. It is what it is. It's going to be that way forever, because that's what it is. At the bare minimum, somewhere, I think the lowest statistic, around 85% of all, quoted mass shootings, and that's kind of a hard thing to do, because there's no actual standard definition for a mass shooting. What most people consider a mass shooting anyway. Around 85%, and that's the lowest number. Most of them around 95% that I've seen of all mass shootings actually happen in gun-free zones. So obviously, gun-free zones do not work. That includes most schools. So why not actually change that? Allow people to carry, allow trained personnel to carry, or have security guards, one or the other, and you would stop the vast majority of these incidents. And that's something that, like I said, I think has been needed and done for a long, long time, and I'm hoping that maybe people will start to actually, maybe people will start waking up and realizing that that's the only way anything's ever going to change, is to allow people to carry. Because anytime a mass shooting, any bad person, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun truly is a good guy with a gun, period. And if you got people there taking away some of that, some of the time for the officers to get there, if you got people already there, how many lives could be saved? A lot. Stop it before that happens, before it gets to that point. That's the only way to actually save, and we need to be saving our kids, because it's getting